All right, everybody, welcome back to the wood shop, and we're here making some cuts to our slabs. As you can see, I've got one of the panels set up. We left in the last video, we're talking about how to arrange them. Now I need to get these edges jointed. You can see here it's pretty rough sawn, and what we want to do is we want to clean that up. Now I could put that on the joiner and do the edge joining, but this is a little bit easier by using the track saw. So today I'm using the Festool TS55 FEQ. Now I've got two track saws. I've got the TS55 FEQ. This is the current model of track saw for TS55. And then I also have the older EQ model that came up about 20 years ago. And on this one, I have it set up with the regular 48 tooth blade for cross cutting. The other one, I have it with a 12 tooth blade, which works great for this kind of rip cuts. But it also does leave a little bit of swirling on the edges, so it's not as beautiful. And I think this is probably the better way to go. It's finer. The rip cutting blade, I can do deeper passes, but since I've been doing a lot of shallow passes, I figured, you know what, if I use the FEQ with the crosscut blade and do shallow passes, it should work perfectly fine. And that's what I've done for the last three cuts. So now it's time to do the next cut. You can see some of the cutoffs. This is two cutoffs I have. This one, we had to cut out this little exclusion here, so I wanted to make sure that was all flat so it wouldn't show up on the final piece. So this is a little bit of a thicker cutoff. This is from the other board that was just as long. Now this one was cut off of the other one, and you can see here, it's really short because the amount that we're cutting off was thinner than the width of the blade itself. The blade on this particular saw is 1.5 millimeters. So we're gonna kind of do something similar with this one, the undulations here. So I'm going to pull the rail. Now this is an MFT style rail set up. It's got, you know, a hinge on that end, and it has a support bracket here which locks it in. And what I'm doing is taking the rail itself, and this edge that's on the rail is the cut line. And when you do it correctly, this is a very accurate cut line. And you can see here I've only got just a little bit protruding, just a small amount. And all I'm trying to do is to clean this edge up and see if I can get a nice joinable edge along the run here. So it's really, really tight. There should be no wood pieces when we're done. And hopefully, if it's done correctly, then we will have beautiful edges to join with. Now, one of the things that people talk about with MFT style rails is that they're worried about the squareness. In this particular case, with these cuts, I don't care how square the rail is. All I care about is the placement of the rail's edge on the workpiece itself. Whether it's square to the table or to the fence is irrelevant. It's just as though we were laying the track freehand anywhere else. I'm just using the niceties of the MFT table. So we're going to take our saw, put it on here. Now, because this is such a thin cut, I could plunge pretty much full depth. And full depth for this cut is going to be just under 1.5 inches. This is a great saw. If you're thinking about a track saw, you really can't get much better than Festool. I played around with a bunch of other brands, and they're all good. They will all do this job. Don't get me wrong. All the track saws will give you this kind of result, but the ease of getting there and the user experience to make it is so much higher with Festool. And that's really where the expense comes in. All right, so I'm going to pull it all the way back. I'm going to set the depth right now to just over a 1/4 inch so we can get a full first feel of it. Make sure we pull this down here. We're on the edge of the grain, so this dust collection shield really won't have any effect, but I just like to pull it down because it gives me something to do. All right, so we're gonna let it start it up. We're gonna let it come up to full speed, and then we're gonna plunge, and now we're gonna move forward. And just go slowly, and just on a steady pace. You can see we're slightly cutting that surface, exactly what we're looking for. Okay, we're doing a little bit of cut there. Again, some resistance in the push, but that's all right. One thing you want to do is keep your arms behind the saw so you don't get deflection. You don't want deflection from the way that we're pushing the saw. So now I'm going to drop it down to about 3/4 of an inch total cut depth. Again, start up the saw, let it come to full speed. Now plunge before we get in the material. Plunge before the material. And then cut through. You're just going to go at a steady pace. The saw will tell you how much it wants to be cooked. And you can hear that. There you go. I'm not getting much of this, even at me that way. Come through, let go, and pull it back. Let the saw blade come back into the housing. Now we're going to go to full depth. We can jump it a little bit further because we've got that space, and there's really not much to cover. Now you can feel it right here. Wow, that's super smooth. All right, let's speed. Full speed again. Plunge it over there. Now we're going to come all the way down. Let's just a little bit further. I just don't want to cut too much into the roofing. We want to clear the material without necessarily cutting through the top. And you've got that little pinch there. I wonder if that's going to give us a problem. Do not reach down and grab that. That would be a very bad thing. There we go. Now let's pick it up and put it on the side. And let's have a look. Our cut is done. Look at that. Whoa, that is, gosh, that is nice. Very nice, very nice. Now, one of the things that you got to keep in mind is that hopefully you have everything square. Now, what I mean by that is that this top, this is the top. I've made sure that this is flat. The other side is flat because as I rock this, it's not really doing anything, right? I'm pushing on it. It's not, there's no movement of the board. So it should be flat. So this theoretically now should be a 90-degree edge to this face and the bottom face. So that, with that in mind, we should be able to grab this piece. One of the problems with this piece is that it's not totally flat, but let's see here. We're going to push that. They should come together fairly. That edge matchup looks a lot better than down here. So there's a little bit of aberration here. But I wanted to clean this up for the moment and see. Let's turn this over. Oh, maybe because there's swarf all over the place in this. This is not really the best way to evaluate it. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Look at how tight that is. That's pretty tight. Now you can see on this board it rocks. Right, there's a little bit of rocking. On one of the cuts, I don't remember the cut that I did, I referenced it this way, and then after I made the cut, see, look at that, see, I noticed that it was wobbly, so the next cut, which I think might have been this cut, I flipped it over so that this surface was down, and that removed the wobble. So when you have wobble like this, that really means that if we're cutting this side and we're pushing it down with the rail, we're going to be slightly off here. So we may have to clean that up when we finally figure out the boards. But this is one way to edge joint your wood with the track saw. So the key here is that if you're using the 12-tooth blade, you're going to have a little bit of swirls. For example, on this board here, which I have not changed, this was cut with the other one, the EQ with the 12-tooth blade. You can kind of feel some of the swirls on here. That's just a factor of the smaller tooth count, and you want the smaller tooth count for ripping so that you get the swarf out of the gullets of the blade. This one with tighter gullets, it's not going to be great for ripping, but since we're doing very shallow passes, it works out all right. And it's also very thin material, so not a lot of anything is going to get jammed in. Like if we were cutting in the middle of the board somewhere, not only do we need to get that swarf out, we also it's got to battle its way through it. But even on this side, you can see this is the cut edge. You can see here, there's a little bit of a ridge here where I did one of the passes, right? So actually I can feel, there's one pass, there's a line right there. I think there's another line right here. There's definitely a line here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts to remove this piece. But yeah, there it is. How to do edge joining with a track saw to get really nice results. Hope that helps. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you're doing joining in your workshop. And see you next time.